Brett from Niche Laboratory here, and in part 2 of this YouTube video I'll go through the other reports, and here's a much more detailed report for this paleo diet niche. This is created by clicking on the button to create detailed report in the Niche Laboratory Pro software application. So this report is an HTML document with pictures in, and it opens in any web browser. You can save them to disk, maybe send them to other people, and you can also use them offline, so it's handy if you're on a train or something else and want to do some niche research or refer to earlier jobs that you've done. You can also save them forever, so you can go back to them if your site takes off and you need to go and find more keywords. So this is research for the paleo diet. As you saw in part 1, we found loads of keywords for this niche. It's a big niche within the much larger weight loss and dieting and food and eating niches, which are simply gigantic. I mean, everybody has to eat, so they are really huge niches. So I'll walk through the report here. The first thing is some niche insights. This is really handy if you're researching a niche which you don't know very much about. So you can see like this paleo diet is a Paleolithic diet. It's a modern fad diet requiring the use of predominant consumption of foods that were only available during the Paleolithic era. So there's lots of meat, nuts and fruit, very little processed food. So already we can see that the paleo diet might be useful for some people that have leaky gut, so that's common, people that are on low carb diets, people that like raw food diets, vegan diet maybe, that's another useful thing here. So that's an instant overview of the niche. Next we'll come to the list of keywords, and there's a huge list of keywords here, and they go on and on and on. The most important keywords are at the top, obviously. I find that these are kind of useful because if you're planning a website, then you might need to focus on recipes, diets, lean meats. All of these are probably good things to have as the top menu items in your website. Things like losing weight. So why are people on the paleo diet? Well, weight loss and losing weight is a really important thing for it. Beginners, that's a good thing. There's many people who are new to a niche, so I always like to put something at the top menu bar for beginners. Like click here if you're new or whatever. Usually the professional bloggers will link this up to some kind of a mailing list, so as soon as somebody comes to your website, then you can get them to sign up to a mailing list, and then you've captured them forever. There's some things I covered in the first video that it came up with Mark's Daily Apple, which I think is a paleo blog, so it's worth looking at what other people are doing. Food list. This is a good idea. There's like a food list printable, so obviously people want printable lists of everything that they can go and eat on the paleo diet, so they can print it off and take it with them when they go to the supermarket or do their online shopping. So even if you're blogging, it's a good idea to do some downloads. A few years ago I wrote like an ebook download, and it still gets a few downloads, and it's definitely something I need to do more of. There's some really good niche ideas here. Paleo diets for breakfast, paleo diets for athletes. These are really nice long tail keywords that would do very good for standalone articles. Let's see, can we see anything else? Gourmet diets, so maybe you can cover like the top end of the market for gourmet food. It's a good thing. So even within this niche, there are all sorts of different angles. It's good because the niche you might think is kind of saturated, but the same as weight loss, but there's also always ways into these different niches. and autoimmune things. There's all kinds of other angles for people that have particular ailments or diseases. So the keywords go on and on. There's a few like question type keywords it picks up. I want to in future versions enhance it so that it finds more of these. If you can answer these questions on your website, then you probably should get some quite good traffic, and it's a good idea to have a look at them because they're the sort of questions that newbies, beginners will be asking about this. If your website answers these questions, then you will get traffic and visitors. There's lots of things about 30-day challenge. People are always looking for real life examples. That's why I'm recording some of these keyword research projects here. So if you can show people the results from your own diets, then you also have a really good angle on it. And there's obviously a good amount of blogging you can do from something like a 30-day weight loss plan. Here's like a 2-month weight loss plan as well. There's all kinds of things number related, so you could do 21 days or 14 days, 1 month plan. Meal plans, this is a good idea because I found that I went on a low carb diet once and I was really scratching around for ideas of what to eat. So if you can prepare meal plans, then this is a good thing to have as well. Coconut milk, I noticed that in the previous research that I did. I'm currently living in Asia and coconut milk is obviously an important part of the diet there, so that's something useful there. So the keywords go on and on. Here we come to the keywords word cloud. You've probably seen these, you can even put them on your own blog, but it kind of highlights the big words in the diet. Basically, if the word is in bigger size, then it's more important and major part of the niche. It can be a good way again to find headings for the top of your blog or the sidebars of your blog. So obviously recipes, foods, diet plans, diet books, these are all losing weight as well, cookbooks, and health. These are all like the kind of key angles to how you should approach this niche. Lean meat as well, another good one. It now looks at a few top ranking websites for the paleo diet. Paleo Leap, I know that's a really important one. In fact, they're so important they got 2 entries in the top 10. Again, you'll also find these days that big authority sites like webmd.com will actually rank very highly for these key phrases like paleo diet. So you're probably very unlikely to be able to get in the top 10 for this, but that's where all the long tail keywords come in. You can still easily rank for lots of those. These are 2 ordinary blogs by ordinary people. I mean, anybody could have started blogs like this. This is Paleo Mom, this is Nerd Fitness, and neither of these are run by corporations. They're just individual people like you and me. So web page title tags can be an idea to see just how tough the competition is for a particular keyword. See that there's a few keywords in the titles there. Just see that there's quite a lot of SEO been done in this niche. Meta descriptions are not used quite so much these days. Keywords seem to be dying off, to be honest. Nobody really seems to use keyword tags anymore. But occasionally you can find very useful keywords in them that other people have found. Eat like a caveman, so eat right. There's some good phrases there. This is a competition matrix. 4 years ago I put this in the original niche laboratory. It's kind of fallen into disrepair, but hopefully I'll get it working again. The problem is that Google ranks things using so many different factors now, it's kind of hard to know if a keyword is good or not, or how competitive it is. It thinks it's kind of easy, but I might need to adjust this. This isn't working at the moment, but I'll try and get this working again. This shows how many social shares a website got. So you can see Wikipedia often appears in the top 10 because it gets so many shares. It's ridiculous. It can be a kind of good indicator of how easy or hard the niche is. One thing is you can still see how much SEO has been done. You see that Wikipedia tends to do very little SEO there, so it can be outranked in certain niches. And influencers, this is something that I added to Niche Laboratory last year because social media is becoming so important these days. Here's a list of the influencers within the niche. So at the moment it just shows Twitter and Instagram accounts. I'll try and add some more others as well. Facebook, of course, is still very big, so there's a lot of people doing lots of success with their Facebook fan pages. And something I've kind of neglected, but I should do more of really. The influencers, if you already have an existing website, then it's worth following them, reaching out to them and interacting with them, because if you just had like one retweet or mention from one of these, then you can get significant social media coverage. Instagram is something I don't know very much about. None of my niche is really very like photo friendly, so it's not worth using those so much. Just see I have noticed there's an awful lot of Instagram accounts coming up for certain niches, way more than Twitter's, so maybe Instagram seems to be winning out in the social media wars. Hashtags, there's a couple of hashtags and not many. Hopefully I'll be able to enhance it in future versions to show a few more. There's a whole load of links here, so these will keep you busy if you do need to do a bit more research. There's a lot of medical type links I see here. A few blogs. In fact, there's even one on WordPress.com. and WordPress.com as well as Blogger.com or Blogspot. I found that actually quite good. They rank quite well. I kind of prefer Blogger because WordPress tends to remove your free blogs if there's any marketing type stuff on there. Whereas Blogger, I've had quite a bit of success with very kind of small micro niche blogs. Paleo Village, that's another site I've seen before. And endless, quite a lot of links here. You might spot some interesting links. Whenever you see a long list of links, that sounds a good one. If you're building a blog, it's always a good idea to link to a few authority sites in your niche. Don't worry about losing traffic to these websites, because Google always seems to give you a bit of better ranking if you link to some other sites in your niche. I'm going to share the love around a bit. Next up we have some suggested blog post titles. These are automatically generated from the keywords you use to go and start your project. Here they are paleo diet. Sometimes because they're randomly generated you have to change the grammar a bit, but there are some real gems here. In fact, I have used this part of Niche Laboratory to do some of my own blog titles. They get better click-through rates in search results and thus more traffic. They really are a ridiculously easy win, really. If you have a better title and get 10% better click-through rates from search engines, then you'll get a lot more traffic to your blog. This is kind of a good one, the world's most unusual paleo diet. I like that. The biggest myth, I would change it to the biggest myths about the paleo diet, but that's a kind of good one. 12 secret techniques, that's always people will always click on things like that. In 30 minutes, I'll give you the truth about paleo diets. This is a good one for a YouTube video, and I think I fixed it that often it will try and give you odd numbers of things like 5 ways, 7 mistakes. People seem to click on odd numbered titles for some reason. Top tips, creative ways, even building relationships. There's a crossover to the relationships niche, which is also gigantic and very lucrative. 6 tips from a Paleo Diet Pro. Again, this is a really nice headline. I've been impressed by these. They're really useful. Discussion forums. This seems to have been broken at the moment, but I'll try and get it fixed. A few years ago, I started findaforum.net and populated it with the biggest forums that I could find online. It's worth a look because there's some really good forums that you could join and maybe try and publicize your site, although forum owners are a bit funny these days about linking to other websites. Forums are also a good place to find lots of keywords and how-to questions. There's always newbies asking questions about how to do particular things. You could also have a go at starting your own forum. I've had mixed results doing that. I have added a forum to Niche Laboratory, but it's not really that popular yet, and it can be hard work building and maintaining a forum. Google News Stories. I like to see these for 2 reasons. Firstly, they can have really click-friendly, viral type headlines, so it's a good idea to see what the professionals are doing with the headline writing. They also give you like timely, interesting topics to talk about. Here's a keyword like, this is a good idea for a particular page, like paleo diet for older women. That's like an entire niche website of its own, really. Paleo sushi, that would be a good thing to put as a quick blog story. You can also use these and just send these links out if you have a mailing list and just want to have a few timely stories, and just search in Google News and find a few things here. Next we come to products, and these are niche products. These are from Amazon, and as you'd expect, I think it's mainly books here for this particular niche. And there's a whopping 22,184 extra products in this niche which you could find. I'd say the thing with paleo diet is you wouldn't have any problems monetizing it. So many products and other things. You could also create your own product. And niche products, these come from AliExpress, which you might not have heard from. This is basically a website which links up Chinese sellers with buyers across the world. You can sign up for an individual user account. You'll find that there's a few more products than Amazon, and also the prices, they used to be lower, although they seem to be going up quite a bit. If you're thinking of being more ambitious and making an actual e-commerce store or a drop shipping store, then you can really go to town looking for really good products on AliExpress. So there's just a few of them. Don't think these are actually very good, but this isn't really a shopping niche, so I'm not surprised the products here aren't very good. Finally, at the bottom of the report, there's all the keyword phrases. These are the long tail keywords, and here are the individual keywords that it's found for this niche. As always, the most important or frequently occurring keywords and words are at the top of the list. It's worth having a look. There's a few words I haven't seen in the above reports. Vitamins, so that's another angle for the diet here. Fruit, what kind of fruits could you eat? and so many keywords here. Gluten-free. I don't know why Legos appeared. Hypoglycemia, that's another major keyword, and this diet can really help hypoglycemic people. Here's a nice one, Paleo diet Thanksgiving recipes. So recipes tend to get a lot of traffic because there's so many different recipes you can think of. Spotted popcorn as well, because people on diets like to snack. So what can people snack on the paleo diet? Maybe popcorn is a good idea. So as you can see, there's masses of data here. Some of these reports are better than others, but it kind of depends on what particular niche you're researching. If you have any comments or questions about niche research, then leave a comment below, and remember to like the video. Thanks for watching.